Managing the unstructured data that is housed in faxes and in documents is a challenge for everyone in radiology. Hyland is one of the companies specializing in unlocking that data. They've been doing this for years. And at RSNA 25, Hyland had a big announcement in the digital pathology space. And so to find out more about how they're unlocking the power of unstructured data and helping digital pathology, I had the chance to sit down and speak with Michael Campbell, Chief Product Officer at Hyland. While I had him on camera, I also had the chance to ask him about how they're incorporating AI into their solutions. Let's get to it. Michael, welcome to the program.
Great to be here.
I'm always excited to get together with Hyland. You always have some interesting things going on. But before we dive in deep, Michael, can you tell us a little bit about you, your role, and a little bit about Hyland?
Sure, happy to. My name is Mike Campbell. I'm the Chief Product Officer at Hyland. I'm responsible for product strategy. I lead all of product management, the design team, and work closely with the rest of the leadership team, whether they be sales, marketing, and of course the engineering team, to make sure that we're delivering great products to our customers.
And Hyland plays in a lot of different areas, is
Indeed.
that right? Yeah, like healthcare is one,
Absolutely.
a big area for you.
Healthcare is our largest industry that we serve by far, absolutely. But we're also in a lot of other regulated industries. You'll find us in insurance and banking, you'll find us in higher education and many, many government accounts as well.
And that's part of the reason why I'm always excited to talk to you, because you bring in a little bit of that other perspective from these other industries to kind of bring some best practices from over there into healthcare.
Indeed, I mean that's the whole strategy, right? We've got a variety of capabilities that are broadly applicable, that are relevant for unstructured content in a variety of industries, and then we add sort of a specialization on top of that to make it most valuable for each of the industries that we serve.
Now, Michael, we were talking off camera before we jumped on that you have some big announcements that you made here at this conference. Can you tell me what some of those were?
Absolutely, yeah. We've got some exciting news specifically related to the medical imaging space. Today we announced a partnership between Hyland and Tribun Health. Tribun Health is a leader in digital pathology. And this partnership combines the power of their digital pathology tools with that unstructured content management, that enterprise imaging strategy that so many of our customers have come to rely on at Hyland. So this will allow for a more holistic view of the patient, combining the images from many different disciplines together in one holistic view, and doing so with all of the value you'd expect from Hyland. The governance, the security, the easy access for those that should have access to the information. So we're really excited about that announcement. I think the timing of this announcement is great. Digital pathology has already taken off across Europe. And here in North America, it's just beginning, right? So many pathologists are still relying on microscopes and slides, and it's really a space that's ripe for digital disruption. And together, we're excited to work with Tribun to go help drive that.
Now, I've heard stories about how difficult it is to digitize pathology because there isn't as many standards like we have here in radiology, like DICOM and so forth.
Sure.
How are you going to address that challenge on the pathology side?
Well, that's part of the advantage of working with a company like Tribun Health, right? I mean, they're experts in this field, and we'll rely on them for the digitization. We'll rely on them, frankly, for the ongoing analysis of this kind of content. And we'll bring our expertise in that back-end content management to bear on those problems. The other big news from Hyland is that we're continuing to execute on our content innovation cloud strategy, right? We've been talking about this for about a year. Last year you had the chance to interview our CEO, Jitesh. He shared what our vision was, what our strategy was, and here we are a year later. We've made significant progress on that strategy. Okay. 2025 was really a year of what I'd call relentless execution against our vision of bringing both generative AI and agentic AI to bear on what you know Hyland for. managing unstructured content, and enterprise workflow automation. So we've made great progress. We entered 2025 with a goal of delivering 17 net new offerings to the market. And here, the first week of December, we've delivered 16 of those already. One more is coming next week. And the reaction and the response from the market has been overwhelmingly positive. We've got hundreds and hundreds of customers that are engaged in these new offerings, really targeted at bringing together or bringing value to all of that unstructured information, right? The 80% of the content in an organization that is largely pretty chaotic, right, has been managed in some system, largely for regulatory requirements initially, but there's so much untapped value there. And our whole Content Innovation Cloud strategy is about unlocking that, unlocking those insights, giving people the ability to leverage natural language to interact with that information and gain insights, leveraging agentic AI to drive new levels of productivity, new levels of efficiency in workflows that have traditionally required a lot of people to be involved. So we're freeing up those people to go do more value-added work. That might be more patient engagement, that might be engagement in more strategic initiatives, but a lot of that repetitive, mundane work that goes on is what we're trying to eliminate. So that's all great news, and we're excited about the progress we're making there.
Can you give me an example, Michael, of some of that agentic AI work that you're doing? Because I think it's a term that's bandied about, and I think it means different things to different people. So what does Hyland mean when you're doing the agentic AI?
Yeah,
stuff
let's talk about agentic AI. So AI agents are essentially today largely task agents, right? You're able to give them some instructions, you're able to give them some guardrails, you're able to give them some tools and point them at a collection of data and ask them to go do something. So we have delivered that ability within the Hyland portfolio. We've given you the ability to create agents. Now these agents are secure, they're interoperable with other systems, so we're leveraging the MCP protocol so that any agent that you create in our system can be invoked by any other system. We can also invoke other agents. That capability exists today and is available for injection into any of our enterprise workflow tools. What we're working on now is combining agents into what we're thinking of as a mesh of agents. So instead of an agent executing an individual task, now we're thinking about an agent executing an entire workflow. And that would require orchestration amongst multiple agents. So, a great example might be something like health insurance benefits eligibility.
Okay.
Are you eligible for these benefits? Well, when you're applying, there are lots of questions to ask. Who are you? Do you have the documentation to prove it? Are you eligible for the plan that you're looking at? Is there any fraud going on here? Those are all different activities that are part of a workflow today, but by leveraging agents, we can dramatically reduce the time that it takes to execute that process and improve the quality of the decisions that are being made because of that. So those are things that we're working on today that you'll see more of rolling out in the first half of 2026, but that's that part of the strategy.
And what do you think, what do you anticipate the reception to that kind of a level of AI will be amongst your customers? Basically, are we ready for it?
Great question. I think if it is considered a black box where questions go in and answers come out, the answer is no, we're not ready for it. Frankly, nobody wants that. So we're very much so focused on transparency, on observability. Every single one of our agentic decisions that is made is completely auditable. So this means that anybody can go in and say, okay, this decision was made. Colin, you were denied health insurance, and here's why. Double click. Okay, what did the agent find? What was the logic there? And you can set up different rules and guardrails so that, if there's something that might be perceived as a fraud warning, if there's one of those, maybe you'll say that's okay. Maybe you mistyped a number, something like that. If there are 3, 4 of those, okay, maybe that's got to go to a person. So human in the loop is key in order to drive adoption, and observability, auditability, transparency, all of those are critical as well.
I got to ask this, Michael. What are some of the other exciting things that you're planning to bring to your customers in 2026?
Well, I mean, it is all about context, right? We've talked in the past about content intelligence, getting more intelligence out of that unstructured content. We've talked about process intelligence, allowing these workflows to be more intelligent. And we've talked about application intelligence, right? Our customers are using our whole portfolio to build a variety of different bespoke applications within their environment. The exciting thing that we're working on now is actually a context engine, combining content intelligence, process intelligence, application intelligence with a lot of the approaches that you may have traditionally seen in the structured content management world, but we're applying those to the unstructured content management world. Okay. And we believe that this will unlock a tremendous amount of value. You can think of this as unlocking sort of the institutional knowledge that exists, right? I mean, we all know about the fragmentation. We all know about the rework that we're doing because we couldn't find what was done before, or the situations where we suddenly realized later, oh, we already had that. So by investing in this context layer in our portfolio, we're going to be delivering the ability to get insights out of all of that collective knowledge and drive entirely new levels of productivity and drive much better outcomes for our users and those that they serve.
Michael, you shared a lot of great information with us. Where can people go to learn more about Hyland?
Oh, they can always go visit Hyland.com. There you'll find all of the latest information about the new innovations that are coming out of Hyland, and you'll find out where we'll be talking about this. There's a variety of ways to engage with us there, so that's a great outlet.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for being on our program today. You've shared a lot of great information. Really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, Colin. Thanks for having me.
The partnership between Hyland and Tribun Health will be an interesting one to watch over the next few months. Digital pathology has been gaining momentum, but the lack of standards has really been a challenge for anyone entering that market. Perhaps this partnership will be the one that helps bring some order to that area of healthcare. I also loved Michael's explanation on how Hyland is planning on leveraging Agentic AI, and hopefully we'll be ready for that in healthcare when that's ready to be unleashed. And hey, if you've made it this far in the video, we'd really appreciate it if you mash that like button and click subscribe. Also, head on over to healthcareitttoday.com where you will find more great content like this. I'm Colin Hung. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.